GM, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of If You Know, You Know. I am your host, Belle. I am the co-founder of Mini Wells as well as an Girl. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Such a pleasure to be able to be with you guys today. We're running the show consecutively or concurrently, I should say, on live streams as well as on Spaces, as well as on YouTube, etc. So at the end of the show, you can always catch us on any of your favorite streaming platforms. Each week, I bring to you new builders, new founders, new artists, etc. People that are really, truly moving the needle forward in the space. I'm always really interested in knowing what you got building, what you got cooking, everything in between. Real quick before we get started, we just posted on Mini Wells a really cool video right after the show. Make sure to go and check it out because it speaks about Web3 and all the cool things that we're doing here. So now that is out of the way, welcome everybody. We got the live show going. We have the spaces going. I want to welcome everybody who's on the stage today and have you introduce yourself, say hello to everybody, a little snippet of what you're building, and then we're going to go straight into, deep diving a little bit more into that. Ladies first, we'll start with Kara. Kara, it's great to meet you in person. Video.
Hello. How are you? Hope you're good.
Yes. Okay. That's much better. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. just a second. I should. Okay. I think it's good now.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kara. Yeah, I'm founder of IYKYK. And it's a community for gathering people in Ordinal. I try to help newcomers. And also, I'm artist and content creator here and try to have positive impact on Ordinal. And I'm just a member.
Yeah, you've been around the Ordinal ecosystem for quite a long time. So we're going to jump into that in a little bit. Next, I want to go to Proper. Proper, give us a proper introduction of yourself.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I was.
Hi, everybody. I'm Proper. I'm a co-founder of Singular. We have been working with artists since basically the beginning of Ordinals back in February of last year. We've worked with 15 to 20 or so to release their collections, ranging from Bitcoin native to kind of first timers on Bitcoin coming from Ethereum or Tezos or wherever. And primarily with a focus on generative, but we have definitely in the past probably 6 months or so forayed more into really more on the experimental art side and kind of using the chain in the medium to its fullest potential. And now we're working on the first project directly from our team that is not a collaboration of sorts with an artist and really just using the Ordinals protocol to its fullest extent how we can.
That's awesome. Thank you for that intro. Kimmy, I'm going to go to you next.
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to introduce what are we doing. I'm also in Ordinal since beginning of the last year, exploring and learning everything. It was really, exciting journey here on Bitcoin. Also, I joined the team with Aaron and Wade and building Foxy project, which is started as a social lab, but evolved to metaverse/gaming, and now we're releasing our game. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
Awesome. And last but not least, A-Rod, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's just my login name. But so I'm Aaron. I'm the CEO of Foxy. And yeah, you guys met Kimmy, obviously. So yeah, we're very glad to be here. Thank you, Belle.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to have all of you guys in here. All right, we're going to circle back. I want to get some, instead of, going straight into the projects, we're going to circle back into a deep dive of the projects. I'd really like to know, just generally speaking, from all of you guys, anybody jump in if you want to, any of these questions resonate with you. But the Ordinals ecosystem has really changed in the last, it's a new program anyway. It's a new development in in Bitcoin and in Web3 completely. But even within the ecosystem of the ordinals, Bitcoin ecosystem, the narrative of it has changed. The perspective of it has changed. A couple of weeks ago, I ran a whole show called "Ordinals is Dead," right? And it's because that is the joke right now, that Ordinals is dead. I'd love to open it up to everybody on here. Tell me why Ordinals are not dead.
I can go there. I don't know. Yeah, that was joke. I don't know. At the middle of the last year, when there was slow time at the summer, also like now. So and other chains, Digens were rooting for us to not succeed. I would say that maybe it's harsh, but so we accepted that phrase and turned it to meme, and it sticks. But yeah, it's not even close to that. There is so much development on Bitcoin since last year that I don't know. Me personally, I collected a group of people, friends, real life friends and web friends, to spread our during research to different categories, because we couldn't I couldn't research all the innovations alone, and then yeah, so it's far from that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Kara, I want to ask you about the community perspective. I know that you have built a tremendous community, both in DMs, of chats, as well as in Discord. Has it died down at all since you have been in the Ordinals ecosystem? Are you seeing a lot more people? Are you seeing less people? Are you seeing the same amount of people?
Yeah, actually, if you right now, I by myself in my community. Right now, I muted the community because every second people send a message and people are really active. And I see they are. We see in previous days we saw many projects minted out and grown very well. Like um, animals really great grow very well, but about community and people around and uh, being in space, I think no. Yeah, it's people are lower than before. I can accept that, but we still have many members. I joined very soon, and I can remember first day, so I can compare it now with then. And I in my opinion, I think we have a good. We are in good situation actually, and it can be better, but it's up and down. And yeah, it's my opinion. We are good in a base.
I like that. Proper. How about from from an artist perspective on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like art's one of those interesting things, right? Especially when you get into like the really nit-gritty on-chain art movement. This includes other chains too, where artists are artists because they like to make art, right? And even obviously you saw a lot of collectives leave over the past few years after 2021 and the NFT craze and whatnot. But especially within those really tech-minded, kind of culturally shifting minded artists in terms of using the tech within their art, it almost feels like the down periods are even more interesting, just because they continue to, there's not so much I guess focus on like my supply is going crazy, or my collectors want more, anything like that. So there definitely has been, compared to, I would say, late last year, or really all of last year, where you had artists who maybe they were curious about Bitcoin, maybe they already knew quite a bit about Bitcoin, maybe they'd never done anything about Bitcoin, or in some cases maybe even never owned it, and they really got their digital art started on Ethereum. That the interest that I've seen from people coming from that background, it's definitely gone down a little bit, I would say. But in terms of the artists that are here and like that are, really experimenting, it's almost kind of like it feels like a golden age in a sense, which I know sounds a little cliche, but and for that matter, I think collectors are kind of going through that too. When if you do have a quote unquote down period of sorts, that it kind of forces collectors to be more thoughtful too about how are they going about collecting, what are they collecting, and things of that nature. So I think art on Bitcoin is in a phenomenal spot right now, and I am excited, even with obviously with growing attention and whatnot, even more so to really pay respect to the artists who are kind of pushing the curtain a little bit.
Awesome. Do you see a lot more interest from artists coming from other blockchains, from Ethereum or Solana or what have you, interested in the ordinals and inscribing ordinals? I know that just historically, when ordinals came out, there was a lot of, maybe not resistance, but a lot of just a lot of unsure actions, right? Unclear, etc. If from your perspective, has that changed? Do you see a lot more artists now willing to kind of, go to the other side, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, last year, there were certain periods last year where it felt like probably 10 times a day different artists were reaching out because they wanted to learn more about ordinals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that like it is Bitcoin, this is a new way of quote unquote bringing my art to the mother chain. And as much as I think, kind of wording like that is sort of like a meme in a sense, it very much was true that these artists were like, it's Bitcoin. Like I feel like I have to make my mark in some way. So I nowadays I'm definitely not getting like, just absolutely overwhelmed with artists who have never done anything on Bitcoin and they want to experience it more. But, the flip side of it is those who are, they're being really like that, even more thoughtful than,
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected necessarily, where it's like, I have this idea and I want to see if I can make it work on Bitcoin. And, sometimes, generally speaking, my response to like, can it be done is yes. It just, maybe it's really complex to do, or maybe there's, especially before we have some of the new opcodes, like maybe there's a trusted element to it. But artists who are actually being thoughtful are definitely, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm not to say other artists are not being thoughtful, but they don't want to just come to Bitcoin and like, oh yeah, here's, a set of 50, JPEGs. They want to like, how can I use reinscriptions, or how can I use, parent-child in an interesting way, things of that nature. And that, like, in terms of the hours that I do get from artists, as a percentage, it's gone like way up in terms of people who are like really digging in and saying, okay, this is actually something interesting that I can do with my art.
Wow. Yeah. That's great to hear, right? That's
Yeah.
definitely moving things forward. And that's amazing. Aaron, I'd love to hear your perspective on anything that we've talked about.
Yeah, no. So with Foxy, for example, our users on Discord have really like quadrupled. So we've increased a lot in users on there. Our X account also has really increased as well. But I think slow times come, and that's great for us to build. That's great for builders. And then you'll really see those that stood around and stayed, and others that just left. So I really particularly like these slower times. So.
It's awesome, first of all, that you've been having, an influx of new followers, et cetera, new participants. I'm curious as to like why. What's the background on that? And here's why I ask. There aren't any new wallets coming into the ecosystem, right? There aren't any really new people discovering crypto Twitter or discovering ordinals, et cetera. It's almost like those that are here or have already been here for the most part. And so I'm curious onto what you think the catalyst is on having new followers for your particular project.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's mainly because of our beta testing that we launched. So we've been building um, our game and our metaverse on Bitmap for since the very beginning. But it was slower in the beginning, and it's really just starting to take off just right now. The last month or so, we've had a huge increase, but mainly because of our game updates. We had a version 1 of the game was a little bit more of a simple version, and now if you look at our game, it looks really amazing, and we're constantly just doing updates and adding more content. And I think the users are noticing that and commenting that. And yeah, I think it's important. It shows the development.
Yeah, for sure. That would explain it. While we're on it, why don't you go ahead and give us a deep dive on what you have been building on Foxy, what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys don't know Bitmap, it's a metaverse, currently over 34,000 holders. We were the first ones to release like a metaverse on top of this, a game, sort of. So the first version was, like I said, was very simple. You could actually walk around the world. You could actually create your own little city, I suppose, and go inside your art gallery, etc., and maybe put up some artwork. We revamped that. We made the game a lot more complex. It looks more like a mixture of, Call of Duty and maybe a Cyberpunk. Yeah, so some really cool stuff that we're building on there. We got Gary Gensler as a villain, so you can actually go in there and kill him.
That's hilarious.
Pretty cool. Yeah. We're going to be adding some little Easter eggs. We're going to be adding 2 more villains to the game. One's going to start with Doe. The other one's going to start with Sam. It's going to be pretty fun. Just stay tuned.
That's hilarious. That's really cute. I like that. That's got to be one of the most popular villains. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kara, let's go to you. And first of all, what are you sitting on? It looks like a total throne back there. Kara?
Excuse me, just a second. You called me, right?
Kara?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you one more repeat, please? Because I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No problem. So I wanted to go to you so you can give us a deep dive on your project. But before that, show us what you're sitting. That looks like a throne behind you. I'm so intrigued.
I can't understand your question. I'm sorry, my English is
okay.
a little bit.
That's okay. Okay. That's okay. No problem. Tell us about what you're building.
Okay, I'm building actually. For now, I'm just creating VirtuNuke and try to build it and improve that, and try to bring new people and make it better. See what will happen and decide what should I add in future. But my long-term plan is so more than this. I'm trying to create my own collection, but it's really hard. I'm trying to be the best, and I'm really working on it. And in background, I have a team for that, but for now, here it's just me, For VirtuNuke, it's just me. Everything is by myself, art, researches, and everything. So, yeah, what building right now is just VirtuNuke, but in future, as soon as possible, we'll have many news about future collection. I hope go very well.
Nice. So you'll be launching a collection, is that correct?
No, I don't think about big collection. I don't like high supply. It's my opinion, and I really like to have more little collection, but have a quality for that. And yeah, it's really hard even for me to have a big collection and try to create something low supply, under 1,000 maybe.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, under 1,000 makes it a lot more exclusive. That's for sure. Yeah, that's true. Proper, I want to go to you. Give us a deep dive on not only on what you're building, but I've been a part of a lot of different chats and a lot of different communities, not just in the Ordinal ecosystem, but outside of that. And you get a lot of love. You get a lot of community love, and you have a lot of followers that like truly love, not only what you're building and your artistic value, what you bring to the table, but people just really like you. You know what I mean? And so I'd love to not just hear, for like the technical aspect of what you're, building, but also a little bit more about your background and who you are and how you think you've been able to build that success and that successful reputation in the space. Because, at the end of the day, what we all have is our reputation. And so I'd love for you to dig into that.
Yeah. So, well, first, people liking me, that's news to me. No, I'm kidding. But I appreciate that. And I don't know who you spoke to, but I'm really glad to hear that they had good things to say about me. I guess on that second point about a little bit of background about me. So I really got into the crypto space 11 years ago, 2013. I was 16 at the time, and I was like, my earliest crypto memory is mining Dogecoin on this laptop while I was in like a hotel room while doing a college trip, like junior year of high school. And I'm not going to give you, I don't want to, take up time and give you the full like year by year rundown or anything, but I think one of the things that is kind of it kind of affecting me, but also kind of goes back to like me as a person is having got into crypto from such an early age, and I was never really a trader, so to speak, or anything like that. Like I started working for my first crypto project back in 2014, which was like a decentralized cloud storage, one of the kind of early experiments on that front. I spent some time not trading, but kind of working in the trading space on the infrastructure for both retail and institutional side while I was going through college. And, did the whole DeFi summer thing in 2020 before kind of just discovering digital art back in late 2020, early 2021. And, I only mention those quickly because kind of almost growing up while being in the crypto space in a sense, I was really jumping around a lot, like from cloud storage to trading to, DeFi and I think that was just me. I wanted to get a little dose of everything. Little did I know that discovering digital art, that would be the rabbit hole that I would fall down and stick to versus those other forays that I had done in the past. And it truly was that, I remember in 2021, like selling DeFi positions so I would have some funds to buy more art. And, I was just super active in Block Talk and the Art Blocks Discord. And I was, I basically made it my life to find out more about digital art history, supporting artists how I could, just as a collector. Like this is before I ever had anything more, as formal of it compared to say, what we're doing with Singular, which is a business, but very much, Singular became a passion project, or at least something. The idea of what Singular would become kind of became a passion project because it was I can only do so much as a collector. I want to take that to the next level, and that's really what it is. It's like as long as you're, I definitely for anybody who knows Troy, he used the word acerbic the other day to describe some of my takes on the timeline, and I can certainly be I can come off as abrasive. And just because, and I could come off as quite opinionated, but realistically, it's because I care, and I hate to see, whether it be artists or collectors or platforms or, blockchains or whatever, to settle for mediocrity, whether it be in what's getting attention in terms of, what people are caring about, and, seeing other things that are feel fundamentally more important falls to the wayside, things like that. But very truly, I mean, I'm not going to be the one to say that I have this, crazy reputation. I'll leave that to whoever you talk to. But yeah, mine, it very much is, just very literally just living and breathing and being active. And obviously that came at a cost. Like I spent, like I said, I was selling DeFi positions in 2021 to, buy more art. So definitely a lot of money went into kind of working my way up. But yeah, being active and, very often, at least, oh my God, like some of the crazy stuff that was going on in 2021, like being around and being able to like have a part in those crazy things going on, especially when focusing on-chain kind of generative art and then coming to Bitcoin and applying that same understanding. I don't know. I think that's kind of the position that I have. And I try to be realistic. Like even as someone building an Ordinals focused art platform, I don't consider Ordinals the end all solution to on-chain digital art. I'm going to get some hate comments on that, I know, but I just try to be realistic. I try to be funny. Sometimes I'm abrasive. It's purely out of love. And I'll stop rambling now.
Yeah, no, those are some real takes. And as a host and as a as a moderator of this panel, my thought immediately goes to, I could probably pick him for some spicier takes on that. Because I see that you got them. I'm really curious. What are your thoughts? I'm going to put this out there. What are your thoughts when people say the most important thing about coming into Web3, or the most important thing that we all have to pay attention to, is number go up? What does that make you feel or think?
I mean, inherently, regardless of what kind of niche or nuance you find yourself in, not nuance, whatever niche or corner of the space you find yourself in, whether it be, art or gaming or a community, as that kind of includes, digital identity. So, especially with PFPs and whatnot, or kind of metaverse side of things, whatever it might be. I mean, when you say, for people coming in and the idea is like number go up, I mean, realistically, that's what the space is for the most part at the moment, right? Like, I'll use myself as an example. It's like in 2021 when I'm selling DeFi positions to buy art, like obviously I'm not buying it. I fully expect it. Am I buying it because I like it? Yes. But am I buying it with this idea that, oh yeah, it's going to go down 80% over the next 2 or 3 years? No, I'm not doing that. And so even for someone like myself, where, it's not explicitly about making money, I've been very privileged to be on the younger side and having, I'm not going to say I've done well for myself, but I've been able to live comfortably as a result of being in this space for so long. At the same time, it's like I'm buying art because I like it. And you have people who are, for sure, their primary focus is, they want to try out kind of this new paradigm of gaming, on-chain assets and so on. Or, you have people who want to participate in a metaverse with so many other people, or whatever it might be. Like, even if that's your core focus, there still is that notion that everything that we're doing is highly financialized. And so, and I think at this point, it's kind of, that's just one of the realities you have to come to terms with. If you're a builder, if you're an artist, if, whatever your position in this space is, the goal is number go up. And, you can, I don't know, you can accept that if you want to. It's in terms of the dynamics of what makes this space function at the moment, that kind of is the reality. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with it. I mean, the inherent aspect of Bitcoin and crypto more broadly is that it's a quote unquote new financial system or paradigm or whatever you want to call it. So it's not exactly surprising that there would be so much, literally everything would be commoditized and highly financialized, from protocols to, art to, games, or, whatever it might be. But I have no problem with it. It's just one of those things that, at least for now, is very, clearly and obviously the core focus.
Yeah, yeah, it's a focus a lot for consumers, right? It's a focus a lot for users, focus a lot for for us as crypto users and enthusiasts. But it's not the focus for founders. And Kimmy, that takes me to you. How do you balance the two? How does a founder, that's also a user of crypto, that's also a participant of Web3, balance the two perspectives of number go up, but as a founder, I'm not necessarily looking at the floor because there's a lot more to give. So talk to us about like the other side of it, right? As a founder perspective, and especially for Foxy, how are you guys not I'm assuming, I'm speaking for you at this point, but I'm gonna assume that you're gonna say number go up is not our priority, and so why not? How do you balance those?
Numbers should go up, but not as a floor price. As the users for a whole Web3 or crypto, we are still early. I speak with real life people and they say, oh, crypto is still a thing. So we are not in a bull market yet. I can tell you that. But yeah, you just need to focus on building, providing value, and eventually numbers will go up. Firstly, with users, with community, which is really important in crypto, in any crypto project, regardless of what are you building, art project or gaming or whatever. So community is core, and there you have to expand community. You have to entertain them or provide them value or give some kind of tools or something like that. And with users, numbers will go up in the floor price as well. So yeah, just focus on building and yeah, everything will follow. I'm in this is my I don't know third cycle, so yeah, I have no doubt that things will develop and will be as we all want. It will go in the direction we all want. So I have no doubt in that.
Patience is a virtue, right? Eventually.
Yes, definitely. That's somebody asked me recently what to tell to newcomers here. Patience is yes the most important thing in crypto, and yeah, don't be overhyped and stay
Yeah,
on the ground. Yeah.
for sure. Aaron, what's the hardest thing about building on Bitcoin?
So far we haven't had really. Okay, so I would say the hardest thing is everything's new, so we had to adapt to a lot of those things. But like what Kevin was saying in relations to the price, etc. Foxy has actually really been lucky. I think maybe because of our user base, I suppose. They're really supportive. Our prices have luckily been really good, and our OG passes, for example, I think they did like a 10x, and now they're still like a 3 or 4x. But yeah, we really enjoy. We love building on Bitcoin and just learning. Every day is something new and fresh, and we're trying to improve. And yeah.
Nice. Kara, I want to go to you. You can hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. What do you think is the hardest thing about building on Bitcoin?
Hardest thing, high fee price. I think is one of most challenging things. And one more, block space. Block spaces are really limited, and it's hard for many of people. I tried to bring one of my artist friends into Ordinal, and came and said, "Oh my God, it's really I should compress my files, and it's bad for my artworks because her arts had many details, and it was really hard for her. And one more thing may make challenges is that not Bitcoin, but our ecosystem is really small right now. And many of people may think, as a builder, I'm looking at it, say, okay, I invest my time somewhere that more people see. But at the same time, in my opinion, it's advantage too because it's less competitive, you know. But yeah, I think block spaces and fees could make them back, you know, and don't come into ordinal. People come into ordinal and build in ordinal. And Bitcoin, I mean, you know.
Proper. I'm gonna throw it to you on the topic of onboarding that Kara just brought up. You know, when people think about coming into, let me back up. One of the most agreed upon things that people in the ecosystem talk about is we need more people, right? Clearly, we need new users, and people, you know, take two stances. Number one, we need more users because this this is the future. This is truly the way that people need to realize that this is the way of the future and that this, you know, improves everything, the economy, the way of life, et cetera, the culture, et cetera, right? And then there's the other side. It's like, we need more people because we need extra liquidity, right? We need, like, who the hell are we going to buy? Like, who the hell are we going to sell this shit to? Somebody needs to come in and buy it. How do we get more people? And there's a follow-up question to that. How do we get more people? And how do we get them to actually go into ordinals? Because in my opinion, a lot of people that are sitting on the cusp of it perhaps will say, yeah, okay, I'll try it, but I'm going to try Bitcoin. I'm going to get the token, but you know, I don't know about this digital art thing. Like, I actually want it on my wall. I actually want it tangible. I actually, you know, want it to be easily accessible, etc. So how do we not only get them to onboard, but onboard from, you know, Bitcoin to the next step, which would be exploring ordinals, perhaps runes, BRC20s, cat, you know, whatever. So how do we do that double jump?
Yeah. In my
Yeah, I mean,
opinion, you see, okay,
oh wait, sorry, was that
I
for her
thought
or for me?
Yeah, no, that was for Proper, but Kara, go ahead if you know. Yeah, I don't think Proper would mind if you want to take that question, and then we'll go to Proper.
yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, in my opinion, bringing new people, you know, we too much think about quality, but I don't know, you may know about Telegram airdrops. It brings many users into its ecosystem, you know, and people are looking for free things. If you don't give them free things, they don't come in. They looking for money. They don't looking for building, you know. And I think if we could have something like that, and so maybe kind of airdrop, make people come in, or even as builders is really it's a bit harder, but about normal people who won't come in, they're looking for money, I think. And if we can have something that bring them for giving money, they come in. As what happened for rooms, they came because of money, you know, and airdrops. And I think it will happen if we would be able to do this, but it's really hard at the same time too.
So I'm gonna go to you, Proper, but that makes me like immediately think of another problem, right, Kara? I'm gonna ask you this, and as a not a rebuttal, but you know, playing devil's advocate, how do you retain them? If you give them an airdrop and they come into the ecosystem and they're happy, what is stopping them at all from just saying, hey, free money, I'm selling it, I'm bouncing, like I'm out?
They want more.
They want more. So it's a carrot.
You were with me or proper?
Yeah.
I
No,
talked with you.
that was for you, Kara. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have some ideas, but it seems so stupid, so I don't like to talk about them. But I,
No idea. It's a stupid
it's
idea.
really stupid.
Don't worry about it.
So yeah, I say I have some. I tell you in direct, but yeah, I can't. A
No
bit hard
problem.
for me to say stupid things.
It's okay. It's okay. No worries. Proper.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I've worked for multiple companies in this space. For someone my age, like I said, privileged to have done well for myself, not even as a trader, just by, believing in the ideals of crypto from, early on and not doing anything crazy. And, point being is I've been here for a number of years now, and my dad still makes passing comments about crypto being a Ponzi scheme. Not he doesn't say Ponzi scheme, but basically words to that effect. And it's the fact that someone like my dad, who was the most supportive dad ever, can still just be like, yeah, well, this industry you're working in, what you're doing is interesting, but nothing else. Yeah, realistically, the second you mention crypto, or Bitcoin or NFTs or anything like that, there's a subset of people that you are just immediately going to turn off. I think more broadly, um, there's definitely a group of people that for the most part they've found crypto, right? What's something like 50 million Americans on crypto, whether it be they want access to an asset class, or maybe it's the sneaker resellers who suddenly discovered NFTs in 2021, or it's the people. Really, I feel like there's a lot more people here than what participants realize. But also for the people who aren't here, I feel like the clearest way of getting them to be crypto native is to make them not even realize that they're using crypto, right? So if you think about like a bank, for example, and I want to send money to someone in Spain, oh, well, you have to wait 3 to 5 business days, then you have to convert it to euros and yada, yada, yada. It's like, okay, well, how about I just use a service, and underneath the hood, they use USDC. They send it immediately. The money's there. Bam, it's in their bank account. It's maybe not the best example, but it's like that entire process can happen now without someone realizing that they are using crypto.
Yeah.
And maybe once they realize it, it's like, oh, well, I would like to go ahead and take custody of that USDC, and then I have a wallet, and so on and so forth. And I think another good example of that is what some of these gaming projects are doing. I think the jury for me personally is still out on full-on Web3 native gaming, but I can easily see an avenue where you can show off the power of self-owned in-game assets, and what new experiences could be made there without ever conveying to somebody that, oh yeah, this is crypto. Like I remember, kind of a touchy subject given recent events, but I remember Dr. Disrespect like 2 or 3 years ago. He was this big live streamer and gamer and whatnot, or at least was before recent things.
Got canceled.
Yeah. I remember he put out this tweet when he was working he's working for the studio Midnight Society, I believe it was called. And this guy was very popular, but the second he mentioned like NFTs in a tweet and like using them for on-chain, using them for in-game assets, he was destroyed on the timeline. And it's like, okay, so he gets it, but at the same time, there's like such a poor connotation that they wouldn't even let him explain himself and like why. And again, that might not be the best example, just again, given he got canceled recently, and we're not going to get into that. But I just remember that, where it was, if you abstract away crypto aspects of everyday life while still letting what it allowed, like still being able to utilize what certain payment rails or certain gaming apps, whatever the thing is. It's like if you can abstract away the crypto and just actually show people like, hey, this is what we can do now. No need to worry about under the hood. It's like people will understand a lot quicker that way instead of trying to shoving it down their throat.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There was a musician, there was a group very recently, you just made me think about it. There was a group very recent, a couple of months ago, who decided to announce, super popular, I can't remember the name of it, or them, super duper popular, who announced that they were going to be inscribing on ordinals, right? That they were their next album, or maybe just a song, was going to come out as an ordinal. And their community got so riled up and so pissed off because they didn't understand. Like, they thought, you're just trying to make a quick buck. How could you? Cryptocurrency is, evil and it's fake money and et cetera, et cetera. Well, they backed off of it and they ended up saying, we're so sorry. That was a huge mistake. Listen, the truth is we are not well versed enough to be able to know the difference between the two, fiat and crypto. And so we're just not even gonna, mess with at all the sentiment in the community. And so we're just not doing it. And I remember reading that and I was like, damn, what a disappointment. Like, what a tremendous disappointment. Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever of people who followed them. And that was a perfect learning opportunity for them to say, not as a musician, like, not only are you supporting them in a way that is trackable, in a way that, is on the blockchain, in a way that has provenance, but it unlocks the possibility of you to be able to, as a fan, it unlocks all of these tremendous opportunities to be able to get closer to that person or closer to that team, right? You can now communicate with them in a more, I don't know, direct environment or closer, and whatever it is that they choose to do. There's so many different ways that they could have engaged and rewarded with their community, and that would have been a perfect onboarding. But the fear of it and the tremendous, like, overwhelming backlash that they received wasn't new. And it, to us that are in Web3 and have seen this time and again, it's like there's no surprise there. I continue to be as disappointed as I was from day one, but it is what it is for now.
Yeah, I feel like the number of times I've seen artists talk about the fact that, when they were artists for a long time, they were creative coders, maybe they worked in a different field, but they realized that they could start applying their skill sets to art. It was kind of funny just because I've seen so many stories now about how, like, some of my friends, whether it be professional or, more casual, they stopped talking to me once I got into NFTs. And then it was like after a while, maybe it was a couple months, maybe it was years. They came to me, it was like, how do I get into this? And I mean, like even on like the gaming note, like what we were just talking about, I have a generative artist friend who like worked in the gaming industry, and he was saying, like, once he got into NFTs, like, no one from the gaming industry talk to him anymore. And it's like, it truly, not even because they, maybe they understood quite a bit about it and just thought it was dumb, or maybe they didn't understand anything about it. But it was just the fact, just the connotation of, NFTs and blockchains and all that turned these people off. And it seems like such a repeating thing that, at least on the artistic front, I think there's definitely a wave of artists who are, obviously like every day I see an artist in this space, I come across their Twitter profile. They have 60,000 followers. I have 400 mutuals with them and I've never heard of them. Like there's space, the art space is a lot bigger than we realize. The digital art space, within crypto is a lot bigger than most people realize, even for those who have been living and breathing it every day for years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I don't know. It definitely, it offers a lot as it, I don't, I'm trying to think about how to like finish that, but I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's just interesting to see. Yeah.
It is. It is. Kimmy, I want to change the topic a little bit and talk about gamification. Gamification has been has come up as one of the cornerstones and pillars of Web3, and Bitcoin and the Ordinal ecosystem continues to push into more gamification, and pushing the envelope on exploring the envelope, if I will, on what is possible. Talk to us about the importance of gamification. Why is that something? Why is that a pillar of Web3? Why is that of something that is so important to fill in the blank? Fill in that blank for us.
Yeah, good question. And actually, it's not different subject here. Proper mentioned that when a game developer switched to Web3 gaming, people didn't talk about them. Spotify is also had a similar situation because musicians didn't understand the possibilities of the technology. So we need to educate people. If they feel threatened, they will attack us. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
They will attack anything that they don't understand, and if they feel threatened by that technology or something, they will not accept it that easily. So that's one way to approach by switching from traditional gaming to Web3 gaming. I think this is not the best approach. It's better to go back to what Kara said about how to onboard people through the games, because gaming is big, and you can use that gamification with not just gaming. You can gamify DeFi, for example, and make it more fun, make it attractive, and people who want to learn will then learn what is behind all that. So they will educate yourself in organic way when they are ready to do that. So yeah. Yeah.
Great response. Aaron, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love gaming. I think I remember gaming before I remember walking. So I've spent a lot of money as well on games. And I think an important thing, like Proper even had mentioned, is like in-game assets, right? So if you can actually take your assets and put it on the marketplace when you stop playing that game, if you get bored and you want to move on to another game. So that's something that these corporations don't want to lose control of. Also, right? That's one of the things is where they can have something to sell all the time, and people can't sell to other people. And that's something that that's what I love about Web3. We need to change that. Give the gamers the power.
Does online gaming need to be on the blockchain every transaction?
I don't think so. Not every transaction. Like there are certain things that can be on the server side, right? But I do believe that the assets, yes, they should be on 100%.
How hard is it, or does it come into play at all from the builder's perspective of the cost inhibitions for the users? One of the things that for every transaction, obviously, there's a fee that is associated with that, right? And so on any blockchain, there's the hesitation that if you are paying for every transaction, then perhaps you're not going to use it as much as one that's a lot cheaper, or one that's not fee associated at all. So is there any hurdles associated with building when Bitcoin to people is precious and one that, should not be easily spent or used in a transactional way. How do you overcome that?
Yeah, so there's a few things that we're trying to solve for that. One is we get the in-game currency itself, right? So that way people don't have to have a conversion like every second that they kill something or every time they pick up a loot box. So that's gonna save some fees right there. So, and another one is, for example, on Tap Protocol, we can do a multi-wallet send. So if every week we can send everyone who's earned the Foxy token once a week their tokens whenever they decide to claim it. So those are two ways. But you're right, it is a little bit more expensive. But I think it's, we do it right. Keep a nice closed loop in the token itself. People see the value in it. I think it's worth it.
Nice. All right. Fire round session before we start closing it out. I'm going to kick it to you, Kara. Something that we haven't talked about today that you'd like the audience to listen to hear.
I'm not good in it. I don't know what should I say.
Tell us how we can, how about this? I'm going to tee you up exactly. Tell us how we can follow you and how we can support you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I would be happy if you join audience that you heard me. I would be happy if you join Virtunook, and I would be happy if I could help people who need help as newcomers, and I can help them. And if they need any help, I will be there to help them, make it easier for them, and yeah, it's that's it all. Thank you so much, Bill, for this great space. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks. It's my pleasure, and I'm happy that you were able to join us. Proper, I'm going to kick it off to you. What do you want to share with us?
Yeah, also, thank you so much for having me.
Guys, like this is your moment.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I realized I've just been spewing hot takes, maybe some hot, maybe some not so hot, and have yet to say a single thing about what we've been working on. So really quickly, I won't hold it up since I know we're towards the end here, but yes, right now Singular is working on the first project directly from our team. It came about from the result of this show that we did 2 months ago called All at Once. Very highly conceptual show, working with a ton of first timers on Bitcoin, as well as artists who have been putting art on Bitcoin for over 10 years. So we started thinking about, how do you, basically it really started like, how do we follow that up? And so what we have created is BitPlanet. It's very much this, the name comes from this thing that my co-founder Ace was working on, long before Ordinals even existed. And now that with Ordinals, we're actually able to bring it to fruition. Really quickly, it's kind of two ways to interpret BitPlanet. At face value, there's stage 1, which is basically how it starts, which is just a 200 by 200 grid of ownable pixels. You can update these pixels, you can own them, you can own plots, so on and so forth. The reason I say stage 1 is because that gets me kind of the second interpretation, which is much more abstract, of this idea of it evolves over time, and you can kind of more so think of pixels as inputs to this extensible system. Very much so. This 200 by 200 grid might be reminiscent of the $1 Million homepage. We wanted something that was familiar, that was recognizable, and actually, there have been many experiments with that over the past in crypto. So we're bringing that and kind of, we're hand-holding the community a little bit, but it's entirely, over time, the point is, it is very much built from even individual participant level up to just the entire system in itself is fully updatable with various rule sets. And it's one of those things that it gets more intense the deeper you go into it. So highly recommend following at bitplanet_org as an organization. And we will be launching the website sometime tomorrow or Friday. So yeah, that was my very quick rambling on it. So hopefully I covered all the important stuff. But yeah.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Thanks for sharing that. Make sure you go and follow. Very cool. Kimmy, Aaron, I'd love for you to, give us your spiel.
Okay, I can start from tech and utility side of things because Aaron will probably from gaming. And so, yeah, in Foxy, it's all about connecting and supporting builders in space, and that's our main goal. But also to make it fun and gamified and to reward users. So if any enthusiasts about new tech should definitely follow us because we were on top when ordinals came. We were here when Bitmap came out idea, and we made a metaverse, first metaverse on top of Bitmap. Now, then we explored with that TAP protocol, integrated that. Now DMT, which is non-arbitrary protocol, which use data directly from Bitcoin blockchain and determines different things. It can be used in many ways. Potential is unlimited. So if you are enthusiast about tech and utility, you should definitely look at Foxy and what are we building, because we are reacting really quickly to all the new technologies in space. And if you are a builder, reach out and we will see how we can provide you place to show what your technology is capable of.
Exactly. And maybe, like we have some partners, for example, who we were going to implement some avatars for them. They have an art collection. We're going to add some other pets as well. Yeah, please join our Discord. Follow us on X. Our Discord is the main place where we share all the news and all the updates. That's the place where you're going to receive passwords to actually go in and join our beta testing, guys. We have over 200 people who are beta testing the game. They're having a lot of fun and they're earning while they're beta testing as well for the future Foxy token. Please do join us and come kill Gary Gensler. He is in the game. So let's have some fun.
That's really cool. All right, guys, listen, it has been such a pleasure having you on here. You guys are all individually building really, really cool things, establishing a footprint in the ecosystem and building communities and really moving the needle forward. And so I, tip my hat to my Pizza Ninjas hat. Shout out to Pizza Ninjas, my Pizza Ninjas hat to each and every one of you. If this is your first time joining us on If You Know, You Know show, I do this show every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. Shout out to all my Colombianos and all of my Latinos in this space. We're going to be doing a little bit of spotlight into our, creators, builders, artists, etc., that are representing Hispanic Heritage Month. If that is you, or if you want somebody to go up here and have the spotlight on them, please DM me. My DMs are always open, and I'm always looking for amazing new speakers and participants into the show. At the end of this, you can always find us streaming on any of your favorite streaming platforms. We also go live on YouTube, etc. Again, I am your host, Belle, and I am the co-founder of Mini Wells and NFT Girl. We just dropped an amazing new video on Mini Wells, and do me a favor and go check that out and let me know what you think, because it's really cool, really different, etc. But again, thank you for everybody who tuned in, whether you are live on Spaces or whether you are watching us on live stream. You could have been anywhere and you chose to be with us. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So this is If You Know, You Know. And if you didn't know, now you know, baby. I'll see you guys next week. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
And well, this this is what happens when you go live, everybody. I can't click on the. Okay, bye, everybody. Clicking on the in stream.